things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together we can...
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and for all those who's listening and watching it from around the world. And we are now live from the corner of Dalton and Lynch Street. It's the show where we take you inside the game before the game begins. It's the Pregame with your host, Charles Bishop and Neely. So get ready, because we pregame harder than the other show's party. It's the Pregame.
And welcome into the pregame show. It is Bishop and Neely live from Huntsville, Alabama. Neely, the Huntsville takeover has officially begun as the Jackson State Tigers have entered the building.
Hey, Chuck, we're going to calm down, save some energy for tomorrow, Chuck. We're about to fall out your seat. But, yeah, yes, man, sir. We're here at the Westin in Huntsville, Alabama. Team Hotel. Coach Prime has arrived. The other coaches have arrived. Saw Coach Paula, Coach T.C. Taylor. All the coaches are coming in. The fans are gathering for this meet and greet for the team. Team is going to be pulling up not too long from now. But, Chuck, it feels like it's our homecoming.
It does. It feels like it's our homecoming. I tell you what, wake up the echoes of the 80s and 90s where the Jackson State fan base would come in droves. It has the big game feeling. This is what Jackson State fans have been looking forward to.
I'm just waving to Coach TC, man. I'm going to get his attention. I'm not going to bring him on, but I'm going to fist bump him when he get over this way. You know, Chuck, this is one thing about being live. Hey, you know, we got to fist bump you, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, when you get settled, we want to grab you. We'll be on by the hour. Yeah, he said he's going to come on. Just got to go check in, get ready for team meetings. Coach T.C. Taylor. We got A.D. Robinson here. Huntsville Alumni has really showed up. Tiger fans are checking in. Like I said, Chuck, really feels like this is our home game, and we're going to take over tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, this is what we do, Neil. I mean, you get to see the Jackson State fan base up close and personal tomorrow, but honestly, this is a wake-up of the yesteryear of Jackson State football. Like when we hit the hotel on the Friday, you get the meet and greet, and I mean, the excitement permeates into Saturday. So this is what it's all about.
Get the meet and greet with a little Tito's. As much as I drink Tito's on the show, we got to get them as a sponsor. Speaking of sponsors, Chuck, yes, Northington PLLC, primary sponsor, title sponsor this weekend. So you see their name up there at the top of the screen for all your legal needs. Mississippi, Louisiana, man, he's licensed in a whole bunch of states. Cannot forget who's been down with us from day one, Chambers and Gaylord Law Firm. Also the project architect is always with us, and we're coming to you via the Black College Sports Network. It's a pregame show, Chuck, and we are here after a bye week. First game after bye week on the road.
First week after bye on the road, and I tell you what, Neely, when we stop and take a look at September, 3-1 coming out of September. We started this thing off in Miami, huge win over the A&M Rattlers. Then we took it to Memphis, another win over a rival, Tennessee State Tigers in the Southern Heritage Classic. We had the game in UL Monroe, tough fought battle, came out on the short end of that. But I tell you what, you talk about FCS team going against the FBS team. I tell you what, we showed and proved what we wanted to do in that game. Didn't get the victory. They come back, home game, first home game, WC Gordon Classic, Delta State, get the W. Come out of September 3-1. I tell you what, a lot of Jackson State fans, if they didn't believe, they really started to get that fervor in this game. This game against Alabama A&M could be another one of those data points to where you really get this Jackson State fan base in a real ladder.
Totally agree with that, Chuck. Great assessment of the road to get where we are. I want to rewind a little bit because I know we got Around the SWAC coming up tomorrow, that segment that you really just kicked butt in doing. But we also, if you look at, let's take, for instance, ULM. You know, we were playing up a conference in that game, up a division, if you will, in that game. Hard-fought game. But if you look at what ULM has done since that game to some opponents, it really shows you a good indicator. You know, it's not a perfect science, but it shows you a good indicator where we are. Then we get Delta State to come to us. And Delta State, although it was down a division, they're one of the top-tier teams in that division. They won a national championship before. Great game, great atmosphere. Oh, yeah, they're tough opponent. And, you know, you and Coach O talked about that during the pregame show from the WC Gordon Classic, and it really unfolded just like you expected. Now we roll into that bye week with this road game coming off the bye week against a Eastern Division opponent, the defending SWAC champion, in their home stadium for their homecoming.
And, you know, we talk all preseason about how important October is going to be when you take on these SWAC East opponents. You start off with Alabama A&M. Next week, Jackson State has their own homecoming against Alabama State. Then you have Bethune-Cookman coming into town. Then road trip to Mississippi Valley. October is a pivotal month for this Jackson State football team.
Hey, man, it's Red October. Red October. We got to make folks bleed this month. We got to make it do what it do, because October is, for all practical purposes, for the SWAC Eastern Crown. You know, we have to get through this month. Hopefully 4-0. 3-1 would be great, you know, because we're up a game already, because we started off the season with a win over FAMU, a SWAC Eastern opponent. So right now we're the leader in the SWAC East. If you take out 3 of those teams and their schedule goes the rest of the way as it should, we're in this thing, but we're not even conceding the game, Chuck. We're going to blitzkrieg, that old German term, not the football term. We're going to blitzkrieg through this October. We're going to go 4-0, but don't get ahead of ourselves. We're not thinking about Valley. We're not thinking about Bethune-Cookman. We're not thinking about Alabama State. We are here focused on Alabama A&M, and we're at the Team Hotel live here in Huntsville, Alabama. Chuck, I got my Tito's going. I know you're going to order you some wings down there. Chuck, y'all don't know this out there. Chuck is a wing-eating S.O.
And we'll chase it with little Tito's too. So
yeah, he gonna get some wings now.
There you go. Well, you know, we always say here on the show, the business is at hand. Is the business at hand. Alabama A&M.
Chuck, I got to stop you. I thought you were about to go Jim Ross and say the business is about to pick up.
Hey, you can always have a Jim Ross reference, right? But this Alabama A&M team comes in. They are 3-1 thus far in the season, 1-1 in SWAC play. They dropped a tough one on the road last week to Grambling, but you're still talking about the #1 offense in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Everybody knows his name, Aquil Glass. Everybody knows the receivers. They're known as the Outlaws, Abdul Fattah Ibrahim, Abdul Hilaire. And now they've added a 6'6" receiver to the mix, D. Anderson. He leads the SWAC in touchdown receptions. This will be one of the most potent offenses that this Jackson State team has seen.
You know, Chuck, you hit it on the head. Yes, that is the #1 offense in the SWAC. But guess who they're going up against? They're going up against the #1 defense in the SWAC. And I believe defense travels. I believe defense doesn't necessarily have that ring rush that has to shake off from a bye week. I think that defense is going to hit the ground running. I think they're up for this challenge. I think there's going to be some new wrinkles to the offense. that are going to catch some people by surprise tomorrow. So I'm predicting a Tigers victory. I think that this is going to just bode well for the rest of the season as a statement win, because what we have to realize, more than they having the number one offense in the swag, more than this being their homecoming, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. They won in the spring. We can put an asterisk by it. You can say they didn't play a lot of games. You can say this, you can say that. But the fact is, Alabama A&M is the defending SWAC championship, and we are here in their town for their homecoming to take them down a notch.
Neely, our extended Jackson State fan base. You mentioned wrinkles. Apparently, they know quite a bit more than Mr. Boots on the ground. But the funny part about it is you mentioned that this offense looking to get on track and really get going tomorrow. And we talk about it all the time. The running game has not gotten on track thus far, but it has to get on track. It is the DNA of Jackson State football. When you talk about the running back position, the offensive line, they've got to get up and go.
Chuck, it's not just the DNA of Jackson State football, the DNA of SWAC football. It's the DNA of football. You have got to control the ground game. Much like basketball, I know we're into this phase where people are shooting threes and they're lighting it up and records are being set. But basketball is about what happens around the rim, what happens in the paint. If you want to win a championship in basketball, you have to be dominant in rebounding. You have to be dominant in points in the paint. It is the same thing with football. You can have all the flash, all these gimmicks, all the stuff you want. But if you don't have a successful run game where you can control the clock, where you can make a defense have to cheat up to stop the run, taking some of the pressure away from receivers being double teamed and safeties being able to zone all over the field because they're not worried about a run game, you make yourself one-dimensional.
There you go.
So the emphasis during this bye week, the emphasis during this week of preparation has been O-line, 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 run game, run game, run game. We got to show it improved in Alabama.
And the theme also for this week really has been being locked in, being focused. That is a theme that has been driven home all week. This Jackson State Tiger football team, they're looking forward to getting out on the field because I tell you what, they have been focused. They have been uber focused. They have drilled and drilled and drilled. I'm looking forward to watching this team.
Yeah, Coach Prime talked about that in our sit down this week. He said, look, man, this team, they didn't do the traditional bye week stuff. I gave them an extended weekend off, if you will, and a lot of them didn't get home. They didn't go clubbing. They didn't go out of town. They were working out, practicing, focused, watching film, staying dialed in. So that's the kind of maturity that this team has. And you talked about boots on the ground and knowing some things. Chuck, we are privy to a lot of information about JSU football. Coach Prime trusts us to be in the room, but he also trusts us. Even though we hear it, doesn't mean you have to announce it. And we see stuff on Facebook and people saying, oh, this is happening, that is happening. They'll inbox us and say, hey, is this true? I just hit them with the wink emoji. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Hey, we're definitely not in the business of breaking, privy stuff. So it is what it is. It is.
We have this world of clickbait and sensationalism, and people want to be first even if it's wrong. But we are here embedded with this program and want to protect the integrity of the program, and part of that is competitive advantage. So that's why we don't go live from practice. We don't want people watching practice. That's why practice is closed. We bring you reports after practice, interviews after practice. So there's some things taking place with this team, some things that are going to be tried out this week, if you will. But that doesn't mean just because Bishop knows that Bishop is going to announce it, because Coach Prime had to announce it. Why should we announce it?
There you go. Neely, you touched on something that I think has this Jackson State fan base extremely excited. It is this Jackson State defense. It is waking up the echoes of the last dominant Jackson State defense, 1996, when you talk about guys like Sean Woods, those guys. I mean, I tell you what, it makes a huge difference when we talk about a defense that can really control offenses. They are the number one defensive SWAC, the number 8 defense ranked nationally. They're only surrendering 12.8 points per game, 246 yards per game. And Neely, I see you flip the camera around. It's really getting a little more busy down there over there.
Yeah, getting more lively on my end. Once again, I don't know how this happened. I got tricked into being the guy that's standing. You've taken this boots on the ground thing. Literally, Chuck is always comfortable in sitting down, and I'm down here standing. But because some more alums have come in, A.D. Robinson is meeting and greeting some folks. I want to just flip the camera around and show y'all what's taking place here at the Westin in Huntsville, the team hotel. The coaches have arrived ahead of the players because get this. Coach Prime has been here early today because he's been recruiting Tuscaloosa. He's been recruiting Birmingham. He's been recruiting Huntsville. So he just got to the hotel a little while ago. But, you know, we're not going to concede this state. We're not going to concede this area to Alabama A&M or Alabama State. Our coaches got here tonight, earlier today, rather, to go recruit some high schools and meet with some athletes and that kind of thing. So Huntsville Alumni Chapter is putting together this meet and greet for when the team arrives. So, Chuck, it's a great day to be a Tiger. Great atmosphere here in Huntsville. The game will be televised on one of the ESPN platforms. So I want everybody to watch it. Kickoff is tomorrow at 2. The pregame show will be going live here from the team hotel before kickoff. I was waving one of the coaches to see if he wanted to come on. So we're going to be here, Coach. Chuck, we're going to be dialed up. We're ready to go, baby.
Yes, indeed. And shout out to the Huntsville Alumni Chapter. Shout out to the Birmingham Alumni Chapter, Tuscaloosa, Mobile. Shout out to the Alabama chapters for rallying the troops and being a tremendous host. Huntsville hosting this tremendous meet and greet. And as you mentioned, things are getting a little more lively behind you back there. We're probably going to be bringing on A.D. Robinson here.
Yeah, he's working the room, man. You know, shaking hands, even kissing a few babies, collecting checks. Because if you want to give to athletics, you can always go to the pregame show Instagram page, and in our bio is the link to contribute directly to athletics. So this is what it's about, man. Chuck, we're here to support JSU athletics, namely JSU football. Athletic director Ashley Robinson and his staff are here, working the room, meeting with alumni, shaking hands, kissing babies. Chuck, we're going to raise some funds and kick some butt tomorrow.
Hey, that's what it's about, raising funds and kicking butt. That is what Jackson State athletics is about.
Go ahead. I was trying to get that baby's attention to show you the baby that was being kissed. Go ahead. Because y'all think I just be making stuff up. No, he's really kissing babies, man.
Really kissing babies over there. No, but this is what it's about. This is the beautiful part about following Jackson State football and being a part of Blue Beagle Nation. Are moments like today when you congregate, if you will, in the hotel the night before, and I tell you what, you get that frothiness, if you will, for the game. We got Coach O right here, Coach Hart right here. We're gonna get one of them, not Chuck. So you might as well get ready. We're gonna get one of these mouthpieces. One of these mouthpieces. Yes, indeed. Man, I tell you what, looking forward to everything. There's Coach O there in the picture, Coach.
So which one of y'all up first now? Don't even try to walk by.
Coach Andre Hart, I see you. Coach Andre Hart, welcome into the pregame show.
Yo, what up? I can't see you, but I know you can see me, so yes, I'm going to try to feed off your energy, baby.
There you go, man. This is exciting. The team is here. One of the themes this week we've been talking about this team being focused, being locked in. That has been something that has been preached all week. Talk a little bit about practice and how it's gone this past week.
I think this practice has probably been the best week of practice we've had. It's been intense. It's been exciting. Guys have been competing. It's a different level of confidence and level of competition that I really haven't seen, honestly, here at JSU since we got here. So, man, I'm just pumped. I'm ready to get to it because I'm telling you, if the game is anything like practice has been, right?
Yes.
You guys are in for a show. I'm telling you what I've seen in practice. Have you ever been on a roller coaster and you get a tick, 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 and you waiting for the drop?
Uh-huh.
Saturday at 2 p.m. is going to be a drop, and I'm telling you, it's going to be exhilarating. Yeah, man.
I love the energy. Yes, indeed. Coach Hart, Coach Andre Hart, you have one of the most dominant position groups in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. When you talk about Aubrey Miller, when you talk about Keontae Hampton, I tell you what, those guys, they bring it week in, week out. Aubrey Miller, he's averaging almost 12 tackles per game. Yeah,
they're keeping me with a job. They're definitely keeping me employed. The the guys prepare so well. And then I got some studs that are freshmen up under them that are learning and chomping at the bit to get in as well. But yeah, they're both up for I think it's called the HBCU on the HBCU watch list, Hall of Fame watch list for Player of the Year. Yeah, both of them up for that. So I'm excited to see how that turns out for both of them. They work so hard, man, and they're ready to go. I just love their professionalism, the way they approach practice and approach the game.
And to our Jackson State fan base, let me tell you something about Coach Hart. He pushes this group. I love your intensity, Coach Hart. Week in, week out, man. You bring it.
Yeah, man. Like I tell him, I got mind tricks over Debo. That's what I tell him all the time. You know what I'm saying? I play mind tricks every day I can to try to keep these guys going, making sure they don't know who's like. I don't know if y'all caught it, but it was a couple of practices. I put Keontae Hampton and Aubrey Miller on scout team, just to show them. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep things understanding who wears the cap. But no, I don't have to do that much with those guys. I like doing that. Just keep them humble every once in a while.
Hey, Coach, man, appreciate you stopping by the pregame show. I'm going to let you get settled in. Appreciate, man, everything that you bring to this program, the intensity, the fight. Looking forward to 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I love, baby. Let's go, JSU.
Yes, indeed. Coach Andre Hart, he is the linebackers coach for this Jackson State football team. This defense, number 1 defense.
Oh, yeah, I'm drinking now.
Defense ranked 8th nationally. They're only surrendering 12.8 points per game, 246 yards per game. James Houston leads the nation in sacks, 6.5 sacks.
Wait, he leads the what? Chuck, you got don't just blow by that, Chuck. He leads the what?
He leads the nation.
He leads Mississippi. He leads the SWAC.
No,
he leads HBCUs.
He leads the nation, baby.
He leads I call him Big Game James.
Big Game
That's
James,
what I call him.
He's coming off that edge. I tell you what, then you got Niles Gaddy coming off the other edge. You got Drew Miller pushing the middle. This defense, like I said, they're waking up echoes of some of the great defenses that we've seen in modern history with Jackson State. I tell you what, they can control the football game.
And attitude reflects leadership, man. You know those linebackers and those edge rushers play that way because you just heard from Coach Hart. You see he sets the tone. He's the bell cow. The relationship he has with those players, what he demands of them, how he shakes things up. Like he said, we've been in practice, and we've seen him put the most dominant guys, and they take a play off or two, go to scout team, get your mind right. He's always shaking things up and getting it energetic. So I thought he was – They get you, yeah.
You made the trip, man. Hey, Coach, I wouldn't miss it, man. Miss it, Coach Hart, man. I tell you what, he's one of my favorite coaches, man. He brings it week in, week out.
Yeah. You know, it's hard to pick a favorite, man. Coach O, Coach Hart, Coach Weeks.
Coach Weeks?
Come on, man. Coach Weeks, he gives you pure gold, man.
Let me tell you something. If you have not gone to the YouTube page today, go check out the Pregame Show YouTube page. Check out Coach Weeks today. He gives you a nugget that you just got to take with you the rest of the season.
And, man, when I tell y'all that we got a stockpile of weekisms that we're going to have to put together about a 5-minute week segment, man, of just stuff that he says at practice and in the team meetings. And he does it in an instructional way, an illustrative way. But he's like, man, where'd you get that from?
He's one of the more animated coaches, I think, in the nation.
Bam!
Jeff Weeks. It's like John Madden on steroids, man.
He is, man. So, Chuck, give you an update on what's happening here. Some more families have come. I've seen some people with banners that say "Welcome home" to a particular player. We're not going to say it; they probably be watching on the bus. But there's a lot of families here from Alabama, a lot of Tiger fans from Huntsville area that have come out to support. The bar area is filling up. My drink is getting the opposite of filling up. Is that unfilling? Is that what it's called? It's unfilling up. So I'm going to have to get another one. We got Coach O over here with Coach with Ashley Robinson, AD Ashley Robinson. We're going to be bringing one of them on. Lively activity here, man. Great atmosphere. If you're in the Huntsville area, which stretches to Birmingham, hell, it even stretches to Memphis and Nashville. We're so far in North Alabama. Man, come here for the game tomorrow. Come here for the tailgate tomorrow. Let's take over this thing.
And you know, Neely, you and I, we talked about this off there, but there is a generation of Jackson State fans that has not gotten this kind of atmosphere around Jackson State football. It's fun to see it working its way back into the DNA of who we actually are.
Yeah, man, we went through can't sugarcoat it. We were losers.
Yeah.
We were mediocre at best, and we went through a period of years like that. So you think about it, you had sixth graders who were growing up in Jackson and didn't have an appetite to go to the stadium on weekends. It was unheard of when we were kids in the 70s and early 80s. Every high school kid in Jackson knew what they were doing on Saturday night during the fall. You're going to Jackson State home game. Well, now those folks are 20, 25, 30 years old that lived through that era. So what is common to us or a resurgence for us, it's totally new to them. We were known in the 70s, 80s to go to that visiting stadium, that visiting town, and take over it. And don't forget, speaking of take over, y'all use the hashtag JSU Takeover this weekend. When you're posting your pictures and when you're going live, hashtag JSU Takeover. We're going to leave a mark here and go back with that W too.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Looking forward to it. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. Jackson State, Alabama A&M. Number one offense in the swag. Number one defense
in the
swag. They square off. And it looks like Neely is bringing us another guest.
Yeah, Coach O was talking to A.D. Robinson. I said, either one of y'all. They pointed at each other. Now Coach O did. He had to yield to the boss man. The boss said, "No, Coach, this you." So I'm going to hand it over to the preacher and let him preach a little bit. Let him speak to some fellas. Man, y'all doing all right? Y'all good? This Kevin May's family, running back, St. Joe freshman. Yeah, that's his family. Yeah, here's Coach O.
What's going on, fellas?
How y'all doing? Welcome in to the pregame show, buddy.
Good seeing y'all, man.
Yes, good seeing y'all, man. We've been getting a lot of great feedback, man, that you bring us week in, week out. Just talk a little bit about this Jackson State team that you watched over this past week as they prepare for this tough Bulldog team.
Oh, man, that's an excellent way to start this interview, man. I've been excited about this week, watching these guys prepare. The focus, the intensity, the attention to detail is there. It's there, man. I had a similar feeling last week, last year in the spring when, we played a certain team. And I don't want to say that again, but I had a similar feeling. And I feel good, man. I really do feel good. I'm proud of these kids, the way they have responded to the challenges the coaching staff have put in front of them, manned up and handled everything first class. So we're excited about tomorrow.
Coach, when we assess where this team is going into this October 9th game tomorrow, taking a look back at September, 3-1 coming out of September, I think there's still some more meat on the bone, if you will, especially from an offensive standpoint. But what's your assessment of how this Jackson State team is built?
Well, let's be real. That's with a team that just came together in June. I mean, the majority of this team just got here in June. You expect a lot of challenges in that first month of the season. So we didn't expect it to be perfect. Yes, we wanted a little bit better production offensively, but we also knew that we were going to have some ups and downs, some bumps and bruises along the way. But now that we're in October, now we're looking for consistency. We know we got a good defense. We have the pieces on offense. We made some changes this week to hopefully encourage those pieces to play better together. And so hopefully what you get from that is a better production on the offensive side of the ball that'll help us go 4-0 in the month of October.
Yes, indeed. And we talk about production. Neely and I, we talk about sort of the DNA of a Jackson State football team. Tradition is having a strong running game, offensive line, really blowing guys off the ball. It's important for Jackson State fans to kind of see that again.
Ain't no doubt. About that. Yeah, definitely. We know as football guys that the game is won in the trenches. And I'm a firm believer that a good O-line can get you where you want to go, no matter the terrain, no matter the weather, no matter what's going on around you. A good O-line, a good D-line can get you where you want to go. And we know where we want to go. We want to go to Atlanta. And, ultimately, you know what I mean? So with that being said, the guys that we brought in this offseason, whether they're FBS or whether they're young guys, out of high school, they've responded well, man. They've done everything we've asked them to do. They work hard. And one thing about Coach Prime, man, I love working for him because if you don't do it in practice, we ain't counting on you to do it in the game, and we ain't going to put you out there. So you better show up in practice if you want to play for Jackson State. And if you have that type of culture in place, you have that type of attitude in place, it tends to lead to, I guess, good benefits on Saturdays. And so the guys have bought into it, and they playing hard.
you touched on something that I think has been huge, and I think most Jackson State fans have seen it, especially over this first month of the season. But the culture beginning to change into what a lot of Jackson State fans are familiar with.
Amen. Yeah. So when you talk about culture, you're not just talking about winning and losing football games. You're talking about the way the kids address each other, the way the kids address the coaches, the way the kids look at the locker room and how they take care of the locker room, the way the kids even go about their day-to-day business. The culture is everything surrounding this program. So when you talk about what Coach Prime is doing to change the culture, that's why he talks about the way we dress, the way we talk, the way we develop our kids for the professional world. All that is building this culture the right way. When you have kids who are hungry for success just in life, period, they're not going to leave nothing to chance. I like to say that, leave nothing to chance, but that's what kids who prepare for success in life do. They leave nothing to chance, and they go out there and play good football just like they would do well on that job, on that 9 to 5 that they may have later on in life.
Hey, Coach, you always bring it hard and heavy in terms of just giving us those nuggets. We're very appreciative of you stopping by the pregame show. The pregame show, we love to bring you on tomorrow and just kind of get that little nugget, the analysis of what we need to hear going into that 2 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. Hey, man, always. It's phenomenal hearing from you.
Hey, look, just to tell you guys, I don't say it enough, and I want to make sure I say it for the other people in Tiger Nation. We really appreciate what you and Neely do with this show, man. You guys are first class, you're top of the line, and we really do appreciate you. So from all the Tiger Nation, from the coaching staff, and from our players, man, we thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. Thank you.
No doubt.
We appreciate the platform you guys get.
No doubt, man. Y'all be safe.
Will do. I tell you what, we're going to take a quick break here on the Black College Sports Network. We're going to come back here on the pregame show. Is Bishop and Neely. We'll be right back.
I'm returning to Clinton Parish, and Tampa's my community. I grew up here, went to school here, and my wife and I
Hey, we got TC coming.
Okay. And welcome back here to the pregame show. It is Bishop and Neely live from Huntsville, Alabama. It is the official Jackson State takeover of Huntsville, Alabama. We know it's their homecoming, but guess what? Tiger Nation is showing up in full throw. Neely, who you got back there with you, buddy?
Hey, man, I call him Coach Top Cat. That's what the TC stand for me. We got Coach TC Taylor about to join us, man. Now, we can't keep him long, Chuck, because they about to go out and do some recruiting in local high school football, because you didn't think we were going to concede this area to A&M and Alabama State. We recruit everywhere, Chuck.
There you go.
We recruit everywhere. Okay. So, hey, next up, Tiger fans, Coach DC Taylor.
Coach Taylor, welcome into the pregame show.
Man?
Hey,
man, what's going on, man?
Not gonna keep you long. I know you got to get back out on the recruiting trail, but man, it was great to have you on. I know that you have had your eyes, you've had your pulse on this offense this past week. Just talk a little bit about the intensity and the focus that you've seen in practice.
It's been great. They've been flying around, the receivers been making big plays. Been a lot of explosive plays, a lot of energy. Guys chopping at the bit to get back on the football field, coming off that bye week, especially the big guys down in the trenches. They've been getting after each other a little bit in practice. But we just wanted to, clean some things up, getting ready for this football game. We know the magnitude of this football game, what it means, an Eastern Conference opponent, So the guys really understand, and they seem focused and ready to go.
Offense as much as anybody. Just your assessment of this Alabama A&M offense.
Oh, man, it's very explosive. very explosive at every position. Starting with that quarterback, man, Glasses, he's the real deal. You know, big kid, standing there, huge arm. And then I think the most dangerous thing about him is, you know, the relationship he has with those weapons on the perimeter. You know, it's about 3 or 4 guys that can really make plays, but, you know, they have a chemistry that you would want in an offensive group, you know, knowing where each other is at on the field. He knows what kind of throws to make, you know, to each individual player. But that's the most impressive thing I see when I see that offense, just the camaraderie and the chemistry that he has with those guys. And that's what leads to so much success for them offensively.
No doubt. I coach, like I said, I know you got one foot out the door, but one last question I want to ask, just in terms of taking a look at our Jackson State offense and the assessment over the past September, what are some things that you would love to see going forward?
Say it one more time, Chuck. I'm sorry.
Just what are some things that you'd love to see from this offense moving forward, and kind of your assessment of where we are coming into this game?
Well, I like, you know, like Coach Prime say, believe. You know, and I want these guys to start believing and knowing how really talented they are as a group. You know, this is an offense, if they can get going, you know, could easily average 28, 30 points in each ball game. But it's like I was saying about that A&M offense, it's the chemistry, trust. Guys got to be able to trust. But these guys got to just start believing and understanding. And we got to be able to generate more explosive plays in the game. You know, when the band is playing, we're creating explosive plays, it's going to lead to another and another. And then, you know, that's where we want to get as an offense right now, you know, and we're capable of it. You know, starting with our quarterback, he's a pretty good football player. We got some weapons on the perimeter we believe in, and some guys in the backfield that can score. But these guys got to come together and put it all together, you know, on the weekend.
No doubt about it, Coach. We're going to let you get to it. We know you guys are heading out to recruit some of this Huntsville area talent.
Oh, yeah. Got to keep it going, baby.
Got to keep it going. The name of the game is
got to keep it going.
Is, so.
No
yes,
doubt, man. You're looking good, too, Chuck, man.
Hey, appreciate that, Coach.
All right, dude. Take care, baby.
All right. See you later. That was Coach T.C. Taylor. He is one of the preeminent offensive minds, I think, in football. Guy who really puts his time in terms of, Neely, I was just saying, he's one of the preeminent offensive minds, I think, in football. He really burns the midnight oil in terms of trying to scheme some more, Neely.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, and Chuck, I want to hear your thoughts on this. This might have been before the season started. You know, it kind of runs together, but we had the opportunity to sit in a film session with Coach T.C. Taylor and QB1 Shedeur Sanders. Had a couple of large pizzas, a couple of Pepsi Mangoes, and watched them break through film. And this was probably back in August when this happened. And man, you talk about, you remember the John Gruden show he used to do with the quarterbacks?
There you go. Exactly.
You know, it was on that level, if not beyond it. And so you can expect, man, some special things, chemistry wise, building, developing, arrow pointing up, getting it offensive going, utilizing tight ends. Again, getting that spark on the run game. I was going to try to grab Coach Markinson, but he headed out for a recruit game already. We'll get him in the morning because we will be back here live in the morning, Tiger fans. Chuck, what time is that show time? You know, I forget. Tito's got me.
9:30 Central in the morning. We will go from approximately 9:30 to about 11 a.m. Central. If you're on the Eastern time, then it's 10:30 to 12:30. But the pregame show, we will go live in the morning from 9:30. Right here
from the team hotel. We'll be here embedded with the team as we are every week, every day, every hour, every minute. Like Coach Prime said, it's Swag Media Day. Sometimes he looks up in the shower and we hand him the soap.
Yes, indeed. And let me start by saying tomorrow's show will be brought to you by Hiawatha and Northington PLLC. Also, the project architect, Amber Slaughter, Chambers and Gaylor. I want to pronounce it correctly.
Majia Benet.
Majia Benet. Majia Benet. When you talk about salad and mookies, hey, Neely, next week, hey, man, that post game. We got.
Oh man, look, dude, check this out. Do you realize we got 2 home games in a row coming up?
Yeah.
Do you know how much salad, Mookie's, Broad Street Bakery, and Bravo that we about to eat in the next 2 weeks? Come on, Chuck. Man, we finally gonna be off this road.
Got to get on that treadmill, baby.
I think the team may be coming up because I see everybody kind of heading out, Chuck. So I am going to head that way too. And we'll let y'all get that. Hopefully I keep a signal up through here. I'm going to go over here and stand by Coach Taylor. They pull it up?
Indeed, man.
All right.
That looks like a nice crowd gathering there at the door here at the Western here in Huntsville.
Yeah, they got it's a nice crowd out there. This is where they come in to check their rooms. Coach Pollock, my man, is walking up right here. You can't see him with that beautiful hair right there. Hair almost is better than mine, almost, Chuck. So we're posted right here. Yeah. Coach Flea is right here. I'm gonna show you the crowd outside, and I'm gonna come back to right here because I'm where the room check-in is. So we'll get all the players right there. But AD Robinson is always supporting the Tigers.
Looks like we got the takeover in effect going, bud.
So that's what what you see outside here in Huntsville. They're waiting on the team to pull up. We'll be in here catching them when they get off and come to get their credentials, Chuck. But it is a nice crowd has gathered to welcome the Tigers in. So when they pull up, this is what you'll see when they get off the bus. So it's a nice crowd of JSU alums have pulled up here. So you see my man right there, Al Brown. Al keeps trying to talk to me while I'm live on the show. He like, neither this, neither that. He asked when he was going to get on. So now you officially on, Al.
Welcome in, Al Brown. Yes, indeed, man. Hey, I get more. So
it's a good crowd here, man.
Shorty Green. Shout out to all those who love being part of the pregame show. We really appreciate.
Yeah, man.
We really appreciate
no doubt about it. Really no doubt about that. So Chuck, I'll leave it out here for a second, so you get ready when they get ready to come in. But like we said, we're gonna take that thing in when they get here, and be right by their check-in. But it's
again, Huntsville Alumni Chapter, tremendous job rolling out the red carpet for our Jackson State Tigers. Mm-hmm. But in addition to that, Birmingham Alumni Chapter, Tuscaloosa, Mobile, hey, Alabama, way to go, man. You have really rolled out the red carpet for our Jackson State Tigers. And for the pregame show as well. Thank you so very much. Definitely wanted to put that out in the airwaves.
Yes, sir. Got to keep that out of our airwaves, the pregame show. Exclusive coverage of Tiger football and all the Tiger athletics embedded with the team. Open door policy by Coach Prime. The only exterior media, if you will, that's allowed to do this coverage. As Coach Prime says, pregame show is not media's family. So we kind of embed with the team, travel with them, bring you these special looks. So if you're just joining us, we're here at the Team Hotel in Huntsville, here at the Westin. Team should be pulling up shortly. This is a crowd that is gathered outside anticipating their arrival. Coach Prime and the other coaches have already made it. When they start getting off the bus, I'm going to go inside so you guys can really get clear shots of the players as they arrive to do their room check-ins and all those kind of things. But Chuck, we are here. Y'all remember to use hashtag JSU Takeover because we are taking over Huntsville, Alabama. Going to spoil their homecoming, go back to Jackson with a victory, and remain number one in the SWAC East.
There you go. I mean, it is all about this month of October for Jackson State. We start off with Alabama A&M tomorrow in Huntsville, October 9th. Next week, October 16th, it is Jackson State's homecoming. Alabama State, the Hornets, they come and invade the Vet. Following that, you got Bethune-Cookman, the Wildcats. They're trying to get on the winning side of the ledger. They will be visiting Jackson October 23rd. And then we have a road trip to Itabena, Mississippi to take on the Mississippi Valley State.
Hey, man, and, you know, we know historically Valley always brings it or tries to bring it against us. Valley got a win. Valley got an impressive win.
Impressive win last week against North Carolina Central. So you're talking about some pretty good players over there in Mississippi Valley. Jelani Eason last week, he went 20-27, 175 yards. Ja'Cory Rankin had a huge catch last week for the Delta Devils, set up their game-winning touchdown. So that's going to be a tough team. Vince Dancy always brings a tough Delta Devil team.
He does, man. And where's Dancy from? Where did he go to college?
He went to college at Jackson State. So
I just didn't want to leave that part out
yeah,
there.
Yeah,
We got to make sure.
We got to put that out there,
Coach Prime and Coach Dancy have developed. Coach Prime and Coach Dancy have developed a relationship outside of being competitors. And so they have made some professional connections that can help both programs. But on that day, as we get to the end of October, we'll be going to Itabena, Mississippi in a SWAC East game against them. Rewinding a week from that, we'll have Bethune-Cookman in Jackson a week from before that. We'll have Alabama State in Jackson for our homecoming. But the day, Chuck, we are in Huntsville, Alabama to take on the defending SWAC champions, the Alabama A&M Bulldogs.
And be sure to catch the pregame show in the morning. We will get into the analysis of taking a look at this tough Alabama A&M team. Of course, everybody by now should know Quill Glass, the golden arm. But you also have a tremendous group of receivers that Coach O and T.C. Taylor both talked about. They have a tremendous amount of trust, a great amount of chemistry when you talk about their quarterback and his receivers. And then you cannot forget Gary Qualls. I mean, he is a tough running back right now. He leads the SWAC in rushing. He's averaging 131 yards in SWAC play. So this is going to be a tough challenge for our Jackson State team.
Chuck, let me tug on it a second. I know you and I normally say that off the air, but let me tug on this. Let me tell you something, Chuck. Everybody's always talking about the coverage that HBCUs don't get, the SWAC doesn't get, or that Jackson State doesn't get. I want y'all to understand something. Through the relationship with A.D. Robinson, his support of this program, the support of Coach Prime, embedding us with this football team, you heard from Coach T.C. Taylor, Coach Otis Ridley, Coach Andre Hart. You had 3 coaches on one show just tonight. You can't get that on SportsCenter. You can't get that on Yahoo Sports. You can only get that on the pregame show. We have to stop worrying about who else is not covering us and just support the coverage that we are getting. So you should be subscribing to Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. Go to Spotify and subscribe to Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club and support those podcasts. Follow this show, like, share, and subscribe, and listen to it. Stop worrying about these YouTubers who are out here running off at the mouth, starting rumors, trying to get likes and clicks and that kind of thing. We have a wonderful program that is a part of this institution that is bringing you information straight from the Tigers' mouth, from the head coaches to assistant coaches, all the way down to the players themselves. You can't get this anywhere else, Chuck. I don't see another camera out here.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, and it is a labor of love.
I'm sorry, because somebody's going to say I'm lying. We are in the process of filming season 2 for the documentary. True. So the Barstool Smack cameras are out here, but y'all know that ain't what I meant. But you know how we get on, Neely, I see a camera. You said one no one camera out there. And so let me.
But to your point, Neely, I mean, it is a labor of love in terms of this pregame show and the platform that we've been afforded. But like you said, Jackson State Information, Tiger Talk with 1400 Club, tremendous podcast. Those guys really bring it heavy. They bring you statistics, galore. The pregame show, we stepped up to the plate in terms of inside the lines. Yeah.
And we cannot, Chuck, forget JSU TV, JSU Radio, the work that Rob J is doing. We work with them on the sideline during games. With the Coach Prime halftime and post-game interviews and the press conferences. There is no competition here. We're all working this to build a platform, the name, image, and likeness of our student athletes to share our message. Got to give a shout out to our family over there at HBCU Game Day.
Yes, indeed.
Somebody grown daughters just walked by.
I knew it was coming.
Let me shout out. Let me shout out Tyler Card in because somebody grown daughter walked by in some yoga pants and my head got on a swivel like I was out there on the hash. What I was trying to do was shout out HBCU Game Day and the relationship we have with them to share Jackson State sports. And you're going to see some stuff with men's and women's basketball when we get that season. But Chuck, first and foremost, man, we are here, Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
Here to play the defending SWAC champion, Alabama A&M Bulldogs. Going to be a hell of a game tomorrow. We're going to get deeper dives into the game tomorrow morning during that show, the pregame show. This is the pre-pregame show here on this Friday night. Come on by. So we're going to get a deeper dive in that. The players are going to be arriving soon. A little muggy out here in this Alabama heat. So I'm gonna get in that air conditioner, back in the air conditioner. Chuck, how do I always end up doing this? You sitting down eating hot wings.
Hey man, your boots on the ground for a reason, Doc. That's why I call you Mr. Boots on the Ground, man. You get the angles, you get the sight lines, you get everything that all our Jackson State fans really want to see, buddy.
If we had a contract, Chuck, I would try to renegotiate it. But since we just winging it, I got no leverage here. So I'm standing up outside while you're in the bar, sipping on a Mai Tai or something, eating hot wings.
Yes, indeed, buddy. I tell you what, this is a lot of fun stuff, and it does bring back tremendous memories when you talk about Jackson State taking over stadiums in the 80s, 90s. You're talking about Golden Age Jackson State football, 2007 SWAC championship. But I tell you what, it is a process to get back to what it used to be, and this is the first season of that process.
And to borrow a phrase from men's basketball and Coach Wayne Brent, shout out to Coach Wayne Brent, TTP, baby, we got to trust the process. There you go. And so, we trust the process. We are in the process of building something, rebuilding something, if you will. So it started in Miami, Chuck. It started against FAMU, and we got that W. Moved on to Memphis, got that W. I'm not even gonna call it a bump in the road. We left some meat on the bone at ULM. Then had a bye week, and now we're here getting into the meat of this SWAC schedule, particularly this SWAC East schedule this October that we've been talking about since the schedule came out this spring. We knew October is going to be that month.
And to all our Jackson State fans, if you're still trying to make the decision whether to make it over here to Huntsville tomorrow, hey, gas up the pace. Come on over. Let's go and take over
Not the Pacer.
Stadium.
Gas up the Pacer. Gas up the Griswold station wagon with the paneling on the side.
Exactly. Make your way
I got to tell you, Chuck, let me step back in the camera so y'all can see my sincerity when I say this. Look into my eyes, into my soul when I tell you. It's feeling Ouachita Parish out here. I'm seeing some local Huntsville women. They kind of looking Monroe-ish. So her head is going to be on a swivel because I know they packed them box cutters.
Oh, boy. I knew a Ouachita Parish reference was coming out at some point in time. My God, Neely, man. The Ouachita assassin. Yes, indeed.
It is all good, man. It is all good. We are out here. Oh, I forgot I wasn't in the camera. A.D. Robinson, you want to hop on real quick? Oh, that's the equipment truck coming up now, Chuck. So hold on, let me get the AD is joining us. So that's what's pulling in now. Hold on one second.
AD Robinson, welcome into the pregame show.
Hey, I'm happy to be here, man. It's an exciting time. I mean, these are the glory days right here. This is what you build a program for. Coming to the hotel and seeing your alumni and supporters here to support our student athletes and support Jackson State University. This is what it's all about. This is what
it's all about. Exactly. Right. Yes, indeed. And we talked about the level of excitement in terms of this Jackson State fan base. The believers are starting to come into fruition, if you will. Will be a tremendous data point in terms of playing this tough Alabama A&M team on tomorrow. But I tell you what, the Jackson State fan base, on a Friday, they've turned up and turned out here in Huntsville at the Westin at the team hotel.
Yeah, I think it's very exciting. The Sonic Boom of the South is going to be here. Very excited about that. As you know, when the Sonic Boom comes, we really show out. So I think we're gonna have a great crowd tomorrow. We probably will have more crowd than Alabama A&M. I'm gonna step out and say that. I think we're gonna have a great crowd. Alumni base is gonna be here. The Sonic Boom is gonna be here. So it's gonna be very exciting. I encourage everyone to wear their white. It's a white out tomorrow. Let's support our student athletes. Let's support Jackson State University. And let's continue to support Jackson State University. I'm all about Jackson State, and that's what it's about. As we grow athletics, we grow Jackson State. So I want to continue to let everyone know it's all about Jackson State. And let's work together and come together. There's no bigger institution if we come together as Jackson State University. And that's my goal. I want to see everyone come together. I want to see 50, 60,000 strong. I've saw it before, Charles, and I know we can do it. So I want to continue. And that's That's my drive for today. You know, that's my goal. That's what we want to do. We want to bring everybody together as one. And I know what that does. Winning does that. Winning does that. And I know that winning occurs a lot, and we're gonna continue to win. I'm very excited about that. I'm confident in saying that. And we're gonna continue to be professional. We're very, very professional. We build on this great tradition that our alumni and our former athletes have built. And we're gonna continue that, and we're gonna blaze new trails. So hey, we're gonna do our talking on the field. We're gonna leave all that stuff where it is. We're gonna be very professional, and we're gonna do what Jacksonian do, baby. All we do is win. All we do is support Hall of Famers. That's what we're about. More Hall of Famers than anybody in the state of Mississippi. Over 150 athletes drafted to the NFL. Over 155 championships. I can talk all day about the tradition of Jackson State University, and that's what it is. That's on black and white. That's documentation, and that's what we're gonna talk about, Chuck.
Hey, I tell you what, A.D. Robinson, I always thank you for dropping in on the pregame show, and more than anything, providing the platform for the pregame show to talk to our Jackson State fan base.
Right. And before I go, Chuck, I would be remiss if I wouldn't bring this up, but this is an exciting time coming up. You're talking about President Hudson inauguration. You're talking about homecoming next week. So it's very exciting. I talked to President Hudson yesterday, and I said, hey, you got to have chills coming down your back. Whatever's going on, this is your week. We're going to make it about your week. And sometimes you only get that one chance. And we got to support our president. Let's come together and support President Hudson. Next week is going to be an exciting week. We got inauguration next week. We got homecoming next week. All the hotels are sold out. So I know I don't even have to challenge my alumni next week. I want to see 60. I want the 5 March to tell me, A.D. Robinson, somebody got to go. I want 60,000 fans next week. That's what I want to see.
We can do it. We can do it, A.D. Robinson, man. Hey, appreciate you stopping by.
All right. Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate what you all do as always. Hey, go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Yes, indeed. A.D. Ashley Robinson, always welcome. Always stops by the pregame show.
After you hear the AD say that, how can you not go to the pregame show page, go up in that bio, hit that link, and make a donation to JSU Athletics? We keep the link in our bio because that's the kind of energy that we know is coming from athletics, man. Those encouraging words, talking about the Hall of Famers, talking about the draftees, building all the way up that crescendo to the investiture. That's a big word, Chuck. You know, I knew that.
Investiture, yes, indeed.
Yeah. Don't make me spell it now. Don't make me spell it. Just roll with it, Chuck. Roll with it. Hey, it's like the movie Animal House when he said, "Did we quit when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?" They said, "Wait a minute, the Germans didn't bomb it." Don't stop him. He's on the roll. Let me roll. Okay, don't stop me.
Always.
So where was the investiture of Thomas Hudson, the president? Man, it's going to be an exciting homecoming week. What better way to start off homecoming week than to go into it with a victory?
There you go.
My man, you good?
There you go.
Let's go into it with a victory. Chuck, what everybody has been gathering, taking pictures of, I don't know if you can see it back there. You can see it.
Oh, yeah.
The equipment truck has pulled up back there, and it's a nice photo drop. People have been going over taking pictures. You know, you got Coach Prime on there, Lynn Barney, Walter Payton, Robert Brazile, Jackie Slater, and the late great W.C. Gordon mural on the equipment truck. So that is pulled in, waiting on the players' arrival, which will be any minute. Of course, y'all, we're gonna stay here and bring y'all that. I'm hearing cheers. I'm seeing blue lights, so maybe they're about to come. So either way it goes, yeah, the buses are officially here, Chuck. So when they start getting off,
you know, Neely, it's almost like the Beatles. It's almost like the Beatles coming or something.
Hey man, it's rock star status, Chuck. We'll grab us a couple of players for some interviews as well when they start coming. But that's not the only crowd. You got all these people here, Chuck, are here for the arrival of the team.
This is beautiful, man.
Tight. There's a tight squeeze coming through there. Look, you'd have towed the whole front end trying to make that turn.
Hey, man, I'm glad I'm not driving that bus, man. I know that's a tight squeeze. I know that's a tight squeeze.
So, Chuck, the players are going to start getting off. As they start getting off, I'm going to hop back inside. We got about 3 buses there. That's the first bus has pulled in.
Check out this.
There you got the fans.
Jackson State football team.
You got the fans waving and cheering. Man, good 150 people out here. All around the front of the hotel. So the buses have come to a stop. Players are going to start getting off, and I'm gonna catch some of that, but then I'm gonna take it inside so we might even grab one of them, hand the headset, Chuck. You know,
Of course,
who else but the pregame show, Chuck?
Yes. Who else?
Who else but the pregame show?
There you go, man. This is always exciting. Fans greeting our Jackson State football Tigers as they get ready for this huge game tomorrow.
Hey, Chuck,
Yeah.
you keep talking. I'm gonna unplug the mic so you can hear the noise out here.
Sure thing, no doubt. This will be a huge matchup tomorrow when you take a look at Jackson State and Alabama A&M. It is the #1 offense versus the #1 defense. When you take a look at who leads Alabama A&M into this game, Akil Blast, 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's averaging 377 yards per game. The outlaw receivers led by Abdul Fattah Ibrahim, Abdul Hilaire, and D. Anderson. Receivers. We talk about Gary Qualls. He's leading the SWAC in rushing. Take a look at our Jackson State football team. #1 defense in the SWAC, #8 nationally. They are surrendering only 12.8 points per game, 246 yards a game. We talk about James Houston. He leads FCS, the nation in sacks, 6.5 sacks. Aubrey Miller, he's averaging 11.7 tackles per game. Offensively, Shedeur Sanders, he's ranked 4th nationally. He's completing 71% of his passes, 7 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Warren Newman, Big Ten, New Orleans, Louisiana, 30 receptions thus far on the season. He's averaging 7 catches per game. So it's going to be a huge matchup. We're talking about stars all over the field for Jackson State and Alabama A&M as we are looking at our Jackson State Tigers. Get off the bus.
I'm Mike back up, Chuck. That's Shedeur Sanders coming in. Offensive line. QBs, I don't know why they going through that door. All right, I'm gonna hop back around where they got to come sign in at.
Is that the QB group?
That is. QB1 has arrived.
Yeah, see, QB1, he is, like I said, he is 4th nationally. He is completing 71% of his passes, 7 touchdowns, only 1 interception. One of his favorite receivers is Warren Newman. He is averaging 7 catches per game.
Chuck, I hate to interrupt you. Chuck, but there's Black Punter.
Black Punter!
What's going on, Chief?
Yes, indeed.
CJ Holmes.
Walking in, CJ Holmes.
Oh man, look, the DB group coming in, shaded up. You gotta love it.
Oh,
Nug, what's going on?
DB group shaded up. Yeah. Gotta love it.
So the players are checking in, getting their rooms. Coach Buck, Coach Mathis, as the bus unloads, so they're making their way in. Coach Dennis Thurman is coming in.
PT. Defensive coordinator extraordinaire Dennis Thomas Chargers. I'll tell you what, they are.
That's that game CEO just walked in.
Shedeur Sanders, you gotta love it.
Shane Hooks is in. Hey man, you want to see if Shane want to talk? Let me see. He got his beats in. He can't hear. What's going on, Daddy? All right?
Yes,
Shane.
indeed.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Keith. You know I know what that is.
You see the group coming in there, receivers, offensive line. Who we got with us? Keith Corbin? Keith Corbin, hey, buddy, welcome into the pregame show.
What's good, man? Nice to be here, man.
Yes, indeed. How excited are you to get out there on the field tomorrow to take on this Alabama A&M defense?
I'm excited, man. It's a big game. It's the game of the week. I feel like we prepared mentally, physically, and I think our team is ready.
Talk a little bit about how practice has been this week for you. The coaches have said you guys have been extremely focused in terms of reps and being very detail oriented.
Yeah, I mean, the preparation of this week was different, man. We came out here knowing like we needed this game because the spring was, so we came out here just to approach the game different, man. Yeah, chill, man.
Corbin. There you go, Keith. Hey, man, we're going to let you check in, man. It was good just talking to you. I see Lotto back there. Hey, man, good luck tomorrow. Looking forward to you, but get a couple touchdown passes, buddy.
I got you, man. Go Tigers.
Yes, indeed. Keith Corbin stopping in to the pregame show.
Yeah, Keith Corbin. Hey, Keith, I got it. Look, hey, look, Chuck. I had his beats. He thought he lost them. I picked them up.
Yes, indeed,
you know,
man. This is a tremendous scene of the football team coming in.
When QB1 signed that deal with Beats, you know, one of the gifts to all the players was their own little Beats pods there. So you often see the players getting on and getting off with those. But the team has now arrived, Chuck. Let's see, flip that around. What's going on, Chief? A little dark right there, but let me find a little better light for you. L Boogie is here. Oh. L Boogie.
L Boogie, I see. Trainer extraordinaire.
Trainer extraordinaire.
Yes,
so I'm going to walk you through, Chuck. The players are getting their room credentials, checking in, going to catch the elevator, go up to their rooms. Aubrey Miller.
11.7 tackles per game. One of the toughest linebackers, not just in the SWAC, but in the nation.
He's talking to his coach right there.
Yeah, you know Coach Hart's gonna give him some.
Yeah, gonna give him a lot.
Yes,
so other players around the corner, man, waiting on the elevators. So that's gonna be a process for a minute. Coach Thurman is there.
Some fans coming around. Coach Dennis Thurman.
Yeah, we got fans coming around. Dennis Thurman is there. I'm gonna see if Aubrey wants to chit chat for a second when he's done. You know, he's got his AirPods in too, so we'll give him a minute.
Well,
Chuck, how'd you pull 11.7 out the air like that? Chuck, you truly are the stat man.
Hey, man, you got to do your research. You got to come with it, and you got to be professional about it. That is what it's all about. So that's what I try to do, man. I try to.
Yeah, you have done it. You have done it.
To the show. I see Aubrey Miller
there. Yeah, we're gonna bring him on, Chuck. We're going to bring him on. Just a second. I'm gonna get it set up this way. So once he gets finished wrapping up, we'll bring him on.
Yes, indeed. Aubrey Miller.
11.7 as you call him. Dana Beers just walked in. Hold on.
I know.
Yo.
Aubrey Miller, man, welcome into the pregame show.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Well, I think the question that a lot of fans want to ask is just from a linebacker perspective, what have you seen from this Alabama A&M on tape?
I mean, they're a spread offense. Really the biggest thing, they want to spread, they want to attack, perimeter, get the ball flowing, then they want to sneak in a couple little small runs, man. So biggest thing we got to do, man, is attack the run, get heat on that quarterback. Once we get hit on the quarterback, he panics. So that's all we got to do, man, get him out of his comfort zone.
You know, Aubrey, I think you touched on something in terms of attacking the run, and it's something that Dennis Thurman has really talked about. But you guys have really done a tremendous job of snuffing out the run in the first 4 games of the season. Talk about the emphasis that Coach puts on stopping the run.
A lot of teams in the SWAC especially, all they want to do is run the ball. They want to try and run you down, beat you down, and keep going. The biggest thing is that any other team want to stop the run, force them to throw, but this team will be a different type of competition. They're a pass-first team, so we absolutely want to get pressure on that quarterback and change the flow. So, like I said, it's the same thing, man. We got to have the same mindset, just dominate.
In terms of dominate, Aubrey, you're averaging almost 12 tackles a game. I mean, what is it, man? You're flying around from sideline to sideline. I mean, what is it that you see that gets you to the point of attack so fast?
Before I would say it's me, it's my D-line in the front. D-line taking on double team blocks. D-line is giving so much penetration. It's allowing me to flow to the ball. Also, Keontae Hampton is also a great help. When they try to run away from him, it leaves it open for me. Our DBs are leaving plenty of time for me to be able to attack the ball. So I give it to the defense beforehand. And with them doing their job, is giving me an opportunity to evaluate the offense and go do what I got to do.
Hey, Aubrey, man, go ahead and let you get settled in, man. Appreciate you stopping by the pregame show. Always giving us time, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you as well.
Yes, indeed. Aubrey Miller, he leads this Jackson State defense. #1 defense in the SWAC. They are ranked 8th nationally. You saw Aubrey. He talked about the importance of stopping the run. He is averaging almost 12 tackles per game.
Sure.
But I tell you what, this is a tremendous defense that is really wake up echoes of some of the great Jackson State defenses that we've seen. Go ahead, Neil.
Chuck, do you know who we've never had on the show, man?
Who is that?
We've never had Dana Beers on the show, man. Like we've this Dana Beers, man. Hey, look, y'all go out there on social media, just follow just at Dana Beers, as in Cerveza. Hey,
Yes,
Dana
indeed.
Beers is fit, man, and trim. He's been working out with Coach CJ. We look like the before and after picture. Yeah. Yeah, you are, man. You're looking good. I don't know about those crunches you were doing on Coach Prime's ball. I don't know what the hell that was, but you were doing better than I would do. Yeah, I could tell. Wait. We got to get the special team guys in here, man. Look here. Chuck.
Who we got there?
They hair almost as pretty as mine, man.
Yes,
who want to talk?
indeed,
Who want to do the interview?
Talk to me. Who we got there?
Jacob Polite.
Jacob, man, welcome into the pregame show. Yes, indeed. Hey,
how's
you
it
guys,
going?
it is great to see you, man. I tell you what, you guys are always the first out on the field, getting those extra reps in. But as a long snapper, talk about the importance, and this is something that goes overlooked all the time, the importance of just the basic snap back to the holder to get that kick up and going.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's a position. I would say it's the most selfless position on the field. I mean, you only get recognized if you don't do your job, so it's tough.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, I tell you what, you've been flawless thus far this season in terms of getting snap back and whatnot. But just talk a little bit about the team's preparation going into this game against Alabama A&M. And one of the themes that Coach Prime and every coach has talked about is everybody has been locked in, especially coming off of this bye week.
I mean, I'd say, like, as a specialist, I get to watch a ton of the practice. And so I think, it's my boy Lane, I think this week has been our best week of preparation overall. I mean, special teams, offense, defense, we're all clicking. So I think the whole team is pretty confident about what's going to happen tomorrow.
Sure thing. I asked Aubrey Miller this, but I know you guys, like you said, you get the opportunity to watch a ton of not just your team, but talk a little bit about what you've seen from Alabama A&M.
About what? I'm sorry.
Talk a little bit about what you've seen from Alabama A&M on film.
I mean, we know that they got a good offense, but I think the key to us beating out Alabama A&M is our start. I think if we get out ahead of them and just get on them from the jump, then we'll be good. I think they're a team that plays like that. They play very well once they're getting going, but I think if we can put it into that from the rip, then we'll be good.
Hey, man, appreciate you stopping by the pregame show, giving us a little bit of time. I'm going to let you go ahead and get settled into your room.
Yes, sir. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers, no doubt about it. Hey, Neely, you doing what you do, man. You're bringing the players by, bringing the coaches by.
Look who walked
there
up.
He is right there.
The incomparable.
The incomparable. The indomitable. Jeff Weeks.
Jeff Weeks. Fan favorite, my personal favorite. Coach Dennis Thurman. I call him Lou Gossett Jr. That's what I call him.
Yeah,
Who was outside the pillow?
You know he's gonna give you
one day I'm gonna have to tell our audience what's going on. I ain't stopped talking. One day we're gonna have to tell our audience the story of when Dennis Thurman scared the hell out of you. Like one day, that needs to be like a behind the music, 30 for 30. What if I told you that the pregame show was destined for greatness? But what if I told you it was almost derailed when Dennis Thurman scared the hell out of Charles Bishop? Chuck, that was one of the greatest moments in the pregame show history that nobody has seen yet. It's in the archives, but it was all captured on film, Chuck.
Yeah, man. I had to get out of Coach DT way, man. I didn't
you really have to, man. I'm trying to get back to the lobby shot. It's kind of clearing out. Coach Weeks there, we might grab him. Tony down here in his robe, looking like look at
Hollywood Tony Gray. Tony Gray. Hey, man, welcome into the pregame show, man. You look comfortable. You look comfortable, buddy. Yes,
for
indeed.
sure.
Yeah, man.
What's going on?
Let me ask you, just from an offensive line perspective, what has been the focus this week in terms of you guys trying to get this offense up and going?
Well, in practice and stuff, we've been focusing on trying to change the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? Enforcing the line. You know, being able to move another guy to another place. You know, so we've been more physical this week. We've been practicing more physical, and it's just been that type of week. You know what I'm saying? So we're ready to go.
Yes, indeed. Alabama A&M, formidable defense, but what are some things that you guys think that you're going to be able to get accomplished tomorrow?
I can't hear you. Say it one more time.
I was asking, what are some things that you think that the offense can get accomplished tomorrow?
Everything. I don't think it's not one thing we could not get accomplished unless we, you know what I'm saying, do something wrong ourselves. But other than that, we should do everything right.
Yes, indeed. You talk about the offensive line in terms of focus and being more physical. How would you kind of assess where you guys have been in the first 4 games?
I can say that, you know, this week mentally and just more physically, we've been locked in all the way around. You know what I'm saying? It's an important week for us as a offense, as just the team. You know what I'm saying? So we got to go out here and show the world what we come to do and what we're capable of doing for the rest of the year.
Hey, looking forward to getting out there, Tony, man. I'm going to let you get back to your robe in your room, buddy.
Thank you.
Good seeing you, Tony.
Good seeing you, too.
Big 7'4", Tony Gray. Left tackle. Neely, who you got back there with you?
QB1 is getting on his left tackle about this road. So he's QB1 is taking some pictures with some fans. You know, that's what this is all about, just being interactive for a second. You see him, hold on, Chuck.
QB1, Shedeur Sanders, man. Welcome back into the pregame show.
How you doing?
I'm doing tremendous. You know, we've talked with the coaches, we've talked with the players. One of the themes this week has been being locked in. Just talk about what you see from your perspective as a quarterback in terms of coming back from this bye week.
Coming back from this bye week, we had a good amount of time to assess ourselves. We had a great look this week from scout team, and I feel like when we go out there tomorrow, we're going to dominate.
You know, when you kind of assess your own play, you completed 71% of your passes, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. But what are some things going forward that you want to really pull out of your own play?
That's just not enough production. We got to have more touchdowns, more yards, and that's just us. And just talking to the receiver group, we all came here for a reason. We got to do it. We can't just talk about it. We got to do it.
You know, Shedeur, you're the question leader of this team. Any things that you want the fan base to know with regards to what this team is going to look like coming out tomorrow?
You'll see. We're going to do less talk and more action.
There you go. Let's talk more action. QB1, man, I always appreciate you stopping by the pregame show.
Yes,
I'll let you get back to it.
Good.
Hey, man, QB1 is always about the business, man.
And about the business, you know, ain't with the nonsense.
Yeah,
and you know, and he got that nickname Grown when he was much younger than he is now, because he's always been grown. And y'all could hear in his demeanor, you know, don't get me wrong, now he know how to have fun and he's a good guy. But man, when it's time to work, about that action, boss.
About that action, boss. Well, I tell you what, man, we're coming up on 7:20 here with the pregame show. Hey, we got a lot of content that we have in store for tomorrow. Neely, anything else you got going back there?
Well, you know, we got Coach Flea is still here. Some more players, they're going by and grabbing their team meal. They're passing by you on that end of the bar, going to where the meeting rooms are. So we may ease back there for a second, Chuck, and get something. I'm going to see if Coach Flea wants to come on, talk about that run game. But otherwise, Chuck, we're going to get ready for tomorrow, because we are right back here live in the morning, so you can watch the pregame show before you switch to the ESPN platform. We got Lotto here. Let's get Lotto. He got the shades on. Allah's here. You want some? You want some of this, Allah? Get some of this. Get some of this.
Allah Brown, Lotto back there.
What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, man, welcome into the pregame. I see all my receivers back there. Javante, Keith Corbin. You guys are a tight-knit group.
Oh, yeah. We a tight-knit group. They're my brothers, man. They're my brothers right here, man.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
I'm going to give back. You got to eat dinner, man.
There you go. Go ahead, man. Get to it, man.
Hashtag D I love, I believe.
There you go. Allah Brown. Stopping by the pregame show. Guys really enjoy stopping by and talking to you, man.
Hey, man, let me tell you something about receivers. All you got to do is put a camera up.
All day.
Yeah, all you got to do is put a camera up. You ain't got to say, hey, can I talk to you a second? You put a camera up, receivers are going to stop by, baby. The receiving unit was going by. Headache Gang CEO is coming by, see if he want to hop on when he passes. But they're all headed. No, I think he's going on Beeline down there. They're all headed to team meetings, grab that dinner before get the curfew time around here. And Chuck, I brought some cigars for me and you, so we're gonna get out there by that pool.
There you go. There you go.
We're gonna relax a little bit, but they're headed down to team meetings. Man, shout out to Huntsville Alumni chapter for the JSU National Alumni Association for putting this together. Wonderful crowd was here to greet the players, really set the bar for what away games are going to be like. We have one more road game where we truly travel. We got to go to Baton Rouge. Everything else is going to kind of be in that Jackson area, Chuck.
You get a
don't
chance
know how
to
much
see the Tigers this upcoming month here, especially at the Baton. A quick trip up to Itapena as well.
Yeah, it's a road game, but it's inside the state, and Alcorn comes to us, and Texas Southern comes to us. So we're going to be in Jackson after this, off and on for a minute. But Chuck, they're headed to those meetings. We'll be here tomorrow morning. Shout out to JSU's National Alumni Association, the Huntsville, Alabama chapter, for putting this together. Enormous crowd was out there to greet the players. You could see the energy in their eyes when they got off the bus. They were feeling and loving it. They're headed to get a meal. Quick team meetings this evening before shutting it down. Pre-game show this week brought to you by Northington PLLC. We'll be back to you tomorrow. We cannot forget Bravo, Sal and Mookie's, Broad Street, and for all your bigger catering needs, Mangia Benet. It means something in Italian, Chuck. I think it means let's eat, but don't quote me on that. I had to go by word power. But Chuck, we'll be here all weekend, man. We're going to get this W tomorrow.
Chambers and Gaylor definitely want to shout out.
Chambers. Amber Slaughter, the project architect, man.
Yes, indeed.
So, Chuck, if you just joined us, we're live in Huntsville at the Westin at the Team Hotel. You've had A.D. Robinson on the show, Coach Andre Hart, linebackers coach, Director of Recruiting Player Personnel, Coach Otis Ridley. You had Aubrey Miller. You had Keith Corbin. You had Shedeur Sanders. You had our offensive lineman, Tony Gray. Who am I missing? So we hit you with everything tonight.
Hey, man, we hit you with a long snapper.
We had a long snapper on the show.
We had a long snapper on the show. Yeah. You had Black Punter make a quick stop by. Yeah,
I got a lot of jokes. I got a lot of jokes about long snapper in Ouachita Parish, but it's not late enough right now. It's still 7:24. We might have some kids watching. So I will save that for the pregame show after dark. Yeah. And remind me to tell you about long snapper in Ouachita Parish.
Man, I tell you what, buddy. We're gonna bring things to a close tonight on the pregame show. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, 9:30.
Hey, before we go, you want got Hampton. We can bring him on real quick before we go. We'll close it out. With West Point, baby.
Yes, indeed. One of the hardest linebackers in the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Ooh, yeah, man, all of that.
Keontae Hampton.
Yeah.
Hey, Keontae, man, welcome into the pregame show, buddy.
Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, well, I talked with your fellow linebacker, Aubrey Miller, in terms of what he looked at Alabama A&M on film. Talk to us about what you've seen thus far with this Alabama A&M, that offense, that explosive offense.
It's a good team. We just got to make sure we can stop them before they get going. I think we just got to put pressure on glass and just stay disciplined, do our jobs, and we'll be good.
Stay disciplined, do your job. One thing Aubrey talked about, and one thing Ben determined is preach, is stop the run, stop the run. How important will that be in terms of Jackson State stopping the run and sort of making them one-dimensional?
We just stop number 3 would be good because they got some good receivers. So we want them to pass. Last game he threw like 62 times. If he's doing that, we know we got the game shut down. So I think that'll be a big key for us.
Yes, indeed. Hey, Keontae, I'm gonna let you get settled in. I know you got to get the team meetings back there. Appreciate you stopping by the pregame show, buddy.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes, indeed. Hey, man, that's the way to grab them on the way to team meetings and give them a little bite to eat real quick, man. I tell you what, man. Hey, pregame show, man.
And you go ahead and say, I say it. Pregame show is hell, man.
There you
go.
There you go.
Matter of fact, pregame show is MF. Truth be told. Yeah, Boogie coming back out. Give me a fist bump.
There you go, man.
Best trainer in all of college football, not just SWAC, keeping our guys healthy.
9:30 to 11 o'clock in the morning.
That's when we're going, 9:30. We'll be back here live from the team hotel. Chuck says at 9:30. Chuck is what we call the TikTok. He keeps us on deck and on time. So if he say 9:30, we say we're going to do 9:30.
Yes, be sure to tune in. Check us out on all our social media feeds, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. It's the THEE pregame show, man.
Hey, Chuck, what a show tonight, man. Right here from Huntsville, Alabama, as we prepare to take on, it is what it is, Chuck. They are the defending SWAC champions. It is their homecoming. We are here to get this W, get this big win, spoil that homecoming, and grow into our own homecoming week. And we host Alabama State. But first thing first, before we look ahead, Alabama A&M tomorrow, 2 p.m. on ESPN platforms. Pregame show live from the West End of the Team Hotel tomorrow morning.
Yes, indeed. Until tomorrow morning, as we always say to close it out, in the words of the immortal, we got a team, by golly. We're going to fight, by golly. We're going to win, by golly. Until tomorrow, it's the pregame show, Bishop and Neely.